Hi, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. I have Shauna Claire here today, who is a transformational life and business coach who helps time-strapped students and graduates earn extra money through their side hustle, as well as having time for themselves. Not only is Shauna a business owner, but she's also a full-time student opera singer and actress. Opera student and actress. She combines her real life experiences with productivity to help maximize your time management. So, welcome. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Yes, especially right now. We were just chatting before about what's going on in the world.
Yeah, it's super scary. It's super hectic, but I think we're gonna get through things. We just need to stay calm and follow the guidelines, and we'll get there in the end.
Yes, yes. So tell me a little bit about your business.
Mhm. Oh, okay, so cool. My business, I am, as you said, a transformational life coach. People often ask me what the hell that is. Basically, I help predominantly women, but I work with anyone, to transform their lives kind of from the inside out. So, really working on their mindset first and moving into how they're actually living. What I mean by that is I'll often help people think of what their absolute dream life looks like, like what are they, even like the trivial things, what are you wearing, what are you driving, where are you living, right down to how you want to feel and who you want to share your life with. And once we have like a really clear picture of where you want to be, then I work really closely with these clients in order to like reverse engineer and think of all the steps that we need to take to actually reach that goal, and hopefully it transforms their lives.
I love that. I love the minute details that you get into because sometimes those help people realize a little better what some people say, I just want to be rich and live in a mansion. And it's like, okay, but what do you really want?
Yeah,
Um,
exactly. Because I think it's important. It is important to kind of say, well, I'm kind of really into like country French antique decor and I really like
mhm.
this and that and the other, but how do I actually want to live? Like, how much time do I want to have to myself? Do I want a family? Do I want a partner in life? And how am I going to live according to fitting these things into my life, if that makes
Mhm.
sense? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and so you're in Ireland, right?
I am. I'm in Ireland. Sorry if you can't tell by the thick Irish accent.
I love
Yeah,
it.
I'm in Ireland at the moment, full time, studying to be an opera singer. Super random, but that is and has always been my first love, first passion, and that I mainly work with students actually because I'm surrounded by them every day, and I'm seeing these incredibly talented young men and women who are almost, I think it's like giving their time away for free, working in jobs that are like bar jobs and retail, and they're getting treated really badly and they're not getting
Mhm.
paid very well, but they have all this talent and all this potential that I wanted to really tailor a program towards helping students set up side hustles and helping them make money on the side online, or in person, but mainly online, just to help them pay their way through college in a way that is really meaningful for them.
Yeah. Well, and that's especially important, the online part now, because
Absolutely.
we're all stuck inside because of the virus and your business doesn't, if you were a bartender, the bars are closed. Like you were saying, you guys aren't allowed to leave the house. We still can a little bit, but our bars are still closed.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
they would be hurting even more so if you didn't help them build something that can sustain this kind of situation.
Yeah, exactly. And it is such a weird time, I think, for online businesses at the moment, because there is a part of me that just really wants to kind of do my part and not really sell at the moment,
Mhm.
because I know people are dealing with all these different barriers that are coming up. I know people have had to take pay cuts and some people have been laid off their jobs.
Mhm.
But at the same time, what I really want to help people do is actually build a sustainable future for themselves that they can scale past and make money from home at a time like this, and just feel that little bit more security within themselves.
Mhm.
Never in a pushy way. I mean, I think we all kind of have to adapt to what's going on right now. I've started to kind of, normally I'd sell my program in a package, I'm starting to offer like hourly services now, just to try and help people along, make it a little bit more manageable, a little bit more affordable,
Hmm.
um, that they don't have to stop their personal and professional development altogether just because of what's going on.
Hmm. Awesome. Do you offer some kind of, do you have like a free support group that you have on Facebook or something like that?
I do, yeah. So I have a free Facebook group. Oh my God, what is the name of it?
You have to
This is,
invite me. I'm not in it.
yeah, it's called, it's something to do with side hustles. Oh God, I think it's Soulful Side Hustle Society. Yeah,
Okay, I'll write it down and look for
that's what
it.
it's called. God, it's so embarrassing when you don't remember the name of your own Facebook group. But yeah, that's kind of my free group where anyone could come in and you can ask for advice, or you can bounce ideas around other people.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, and it's just, I think, really important right now that we all actually band together and give each other that support.
Hmm. Well, that's
Mhm.
great that you have that set up. So, it's something that you can work with people that can't afford anything right now, even the
Exactly.
littlest, and then they can still keep their, their development going. And then when things eventually, start over with the world, they're comfortable with you and, on a path to move forward.
Absolutely. And that's, I think free content is so, so important to continually put out, because you never know what kind of financial situation people are in. Like this podcast, people aren't paying to listen to
Hmm.
it. So, yeah, I think it's super important.
Yeah, no, I love that. So your target is the students and you work with them, but do you work just in Ireland or are you all over the world? I mean, Facebook's all over the world, so.
Yeah, I mean, I work with clients from everywhere. I think I have one Irish student, but even at that, like, I don't even exclusively work with students. They are kind of my target demographic, but
Mhm.
I have somebody who has grandchildren coming to me for coaching, and it's
That's
really,
awesome.
yeah, it's really insightful. It's really interesting to learn from people who are living like a totally different experience from you, and it's a really beautiful exchange of energy, actually, because I feel like I'm learning so much from her, even though she's coming to me
Mhm.
for coaching. I'm learning so much from her in different kind of ways, and it's just a really nice exchange.
That's awesome.
Mhm.
So as you started your business,
Mhm.
um, how did you balance building that with all the other crazy things that you do? You're a busy lady.
I definitely am very busy, and it's something that I know my clients will be listening to this and going, "Oh my God, here she goes again." But I am super, super passionate about productivity, time management, and a little technique called calendar blocking.
Hmm.
So, calendar blocking is when you go to your calendar and you actually block out chunks of time to do certain tasks. So, I used to say, like, from 9 till 12, every single morning is when I'm studying. I'm doing nothing else in those 3 hours but studying. Then I'll take an hour's break for lunch. And then the next 3 hours, I am doing absolutely nothing else but working on my business.
Hmm.
It doesn't matter if at 10 o'clock in the morning I get this idea for my business. No, that is my study time. You can write it down on a separate piece of paper so you don't forget it. But
Hmm.
it's really important to stick to those blocks of time. Otherwise, you're just going to get so off course and never actually get anything done.
Yeah.
Mhm.
No, that's awesome. I do the same thing. I have one tomorrow. I always like color code which ones are appointments and which ones are my appointments with myself, so I don't ever like screw that up. But no, I have a time block tomorrow to just do some learning, work on a
Yeah,
training and personal development type stuff, and it's blocked out because it's
exactly.
important.
So and that's the thing. People often forget to actually block out the time for themselves, like you said, for personal development or for self care or even sleep. Like,
Go to
I've
bed. I
so
need one of
many
those.
I've had so many people actually schedule 24 hours in their day, and I'm like, you're asleep for 8 of those, right?
Oh my goodness. Well, that's
Yeah,
like with the work from home and the homeschooling right now going on. A lot of people are scheduling out their kids' entire waking day, and to me, I almost feel that's too overwhelming. We scheduled out her work day, and so she, it starts at 8:30. 8 to 8:30 is breakfast, and it goes until 3 o'clock because that's a normal school day, and so there's still outside play and all those other things in there. But like after that, it's kind of up to her to, do like what she would do after school.
Yes.
But there's a lot of people, I don't know if it's the overparenting panicking going on, but there's a lot of people booking out like the entire, like the day, the minute my kid wakes up to the minute they go to bed. And I'm like, that's too much for me. I think
Yeah. I mean, I don't have kids, but that makes me anxious.
it's almost like there's a way to overdo it. But I think it's still important to, like, okay, this is reading time, this is, so it's like we do that for our kids. They do it in school, and we do it for our kids as we're trying to homeschool here. But it's like, yeah, you don't need to book out every second of your day.
Yeah, for sure. Exactly.
Your loose guidelines, dinner's at 6, but like if dinner's at 6:30, like you don't want to screw up what happens after it.
Exactly. And that is the thing. When you are calendar blocking, you do need to give yourself that little bit of leeway for things that might come up, um, things that you might change your mind on, like especially if you block out me time, let's call
Hmm.
it. Don't then schedule like every half hour in that me time. Just do whatever feels right.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I like the blocking of the me time. That's definitely a good one. So what is your favorite self-care activity, since you're on that line?
Ooh, that's a really interesting question. I mean, I actually really like doing the kind of, I always say the weird things because I feel like not many people might actually do it, but sitting down with like my self-development book of the moment and a big like um empty sheet of paper and just taking so many notes
Hmm.
about how I can apply it to my life. I think that's one of my favorite things to do, and I'll always do that either with like my feet in some kind of like basin soaking or a face mask on, and I just feel so bougie and I'm sitting there and I'm like, I'm taking care of myself.
I love that. I have to add the face mask. I keep forgetting. That's a good one.
Yes,
Like that
no,
extra,
do
like, feel good.
combine the like self-development with the beautifying, and you end up
Uh-huh.
feeling like such a boss babe, and you're like, oh my god, I have my life together, everything's going so well.
Yeah. No, I like to read business books, and my thing is I can't read them like leisurely because I want to take notes. And it's so funny because I'm reading the Badass Your Brand right now, which I love. If you haven't read it, it's good.
Yeah,
But yeah, I like filled up my notebook with all the different, because she's talking about steps, and then,
yeah,
writing about yourself. And it's like, well, yeah, if you're just reading it like it's a casual book, like it doesn't work like that. So you have to have like
exactly,
your fun books and then your business books. But
exactly.
yeah, no, face mask is a good one. Foot bath is a good one. I always forget that
Bats
one
are,
too.
bats are great. Like they're so underrated.
Yeah, I got a waterproof Kindle so I could read my Kindle in the bath and not worry about dropping it. They came out
Oh,
with a waterproof one.
that is amazing because I am always the person who drops things like that.
Yeah, I got it in case we like were at the lake and my daughter dropped it in. But I mean, it just works that it's also the bathtub for me. So I
Exactly,
recommend that too. Christmas present to yourself.
for sure.
So when you were starting out, like there's some different challenges going on right now in the world, but like what were challenges you faced early on, and like how did you overcome them?
Yeah, okay. So I think one thing I really struggled with at the beginning of my business was actually keeping momentum
Hmm.
when things weren't necessarily, no, things were happening, but they weren't very, very obvious. So I didn't see the fact that I was building up like a loyal client base
Hmm.
because you can't see inside other people's minds. You can't see that they're starting to trust you, starting
Hmm.
to like you. So for a while you're kind of just sitting there going, well, I'm doing all this work and nothing's happening. And I think that seems to be the point where a lot of the people that I talk to kind of give up
Hmm.
and they're just about to break through. And yeah, I think that's something that I really, really struggled with. And I'm trying to think what the best advice is to give to somebody in that situation. It sounds so cliche, but honestly, just don't give up. Keep pushing on, even just for a little bit longer. Like when you feel like, okay, I'm at the absolute end of my rope here, give it another month. I'm going to say
Hmm.
another month and just see where things are for there. If you're still hating it and you're hating every second of your life, absolutely move on.
Mhm.
It's not something, maybe it's not for you, but I guarantee you'll have made more progress and you'll see, oh God, well, if I keep doing another month of this, maybe I'll have even made more progress and maybe I'll start making an income. And I think you really need to keep that momentum going.
Mhm. Yeah, there's a
Mhm.
quote, I'm trying to think of it. It's like your break is like right around the corner or something like that. Your
Mhm.
accomplishment is right around the corner. But I love my sales coach always says like it took her 9 months to get her first client, and I'm like, this lady is on fire. She's amazing. She was a corporate boss, like she was amazing, and it took her 9 months. Like then I'm like, okay, give
Yes,
myself a little grace, like like
exactly,
her
exactly. That's the thing. It's
first
a learning.
client too.
Yeah, it's crazy, and it's such a learning curve. Like you need to give yourself that time. If this is the first time you've ever done something like this,
hmm
you're gonna have that little bumper period.
Yeah, I know. I feel like we're not good at not being good at things right away. You know?
Exactly. Everyone's afraid to, to suck at something.
Yeah, honestly. Well, and as students, you work with some students and other folks, but like as students, your path is very clearly defined. You take this class and then this class, and then you graduate, and then you go to this, and your path is already pretty much mapped out for you with a few variables. But
Yeah.
online business is like so many variables, so many possibilities. It's overwhelming, but also amazing. But I think people are very conditioned to having those steps in their life. And then when they're not there, they're like, I don't even know where to start, or they try to copy other people because what else do you do?
Yeah, exactly. And I think because there isn't like that a specific college course that you can take to start up an online business, people are like, okay, well, where do I start? I guess I have to, as you said, copy this person exactly. No, they
Well,
already exist. You have to be you. Like,
yeah,
otherwise, it's just boring.
yeah, or buy that course. And it's like, but there's so many that like you could buy 20 and still not be where you want to be or get where you
No,
want to get. But
exactly.
yeah, I think people also compare themselves to people that are so far ahead of them. We see the Samantha Sifrings of the world, and we're like, no, no, we're don't compare yourself to her. She's built
Yeah,
this for years beforehand. It's like the iceberg. The
yeah,
iceberg picture where you see the
exactly.
top. Like
Exactly.
I mean that's true in
Yeah,
all lives. Facebook and all the social medias now, we're just comparing ourselves to everyone. So it's like
I
another
know.
reason to not compare yourself. You know.
Exactly. And I think it's so easy just to see a picture of somebody's life and instantly make up in your mind everything that goes along with that. Whereas
hmm
really, all you're seeing is just 1 second captured.
Yeah.
It's a lot more.
Yeah, you only see the good pictures. People never show you pictures
Mhm.
of their dirty house. I mean, some people do, and I judge them slightly. I'm just kidding, I don't. Um, but people don't show you the pile of dishes in their sink. They'll show you the corner of their living room that's perfectly manicured. But well, and I'm sure you see it a lot as a transformational, not just the business coach part, but the life one that you don't have to be married by 30. You don't have to have
Yeah,
kids by 35. You don't have to have a house by
exactly.
35.
Exactly. And you see this when I was a teenager, to, again, something that I did to make extra money that I wasn't exactly very happy in, but I used to be a model. And in my modeling agency, everything was so fake. Like we were just saying, everything was a particular moment in time, and it was just infuriating to try and explain to people. They'd be saying, oh my god, you look amazing in this photo, and I'm like, but you didn't see the 6 or 7 hours that I was in hair and makeup and they were telling me not to eat anything. Like it's,
Yeah.
you don't see the pain that came before that beautiful picture.
hmm
And it's really interesting how people say, oh, but it doesn't matter because it's still a really pretty picture. And I'm like, but would you rather have 6 hours of happiness and enjoying your life, or 1 second of looking picture perfect? It's
hmm
it's really, it's something that's always really, really fascinated me.
Well, I think right now is a really funny example of that because all the celebrities are stuck at home too. And
Yeah.
so I'm loving like I saw Kelly Clarkson posted a video on Instagram last night, and she was like, in a baseball cap, hiding in a bathroom in a cabin in Montana because that's where she is. And she
Yeah.
was like, I'm stuck in this little cabin with my family. And she's like, here's my husband's towel. I'm hiding in a bathroom, you know? And she's like, I have no hair and makeup team. I have no band. Like, and she sang a little song and it was beautiful because her voice is beautiful, but it was just, you know, it's real. And Pink, the singer Pink, you know, she had the schedule for her family on the wall. She actually blocked out every minute of it, but she was using a model that someone had posted. But you know, it's her trying to deal with, you know, being at home with her kids in homeschooling,
Yeah.
and Jessica Alba's been doing TikTok videos with her kids. Like it's so funny to see this kind of real,
Yeah.
like we're all in this together situation, you know.
Exactly. And
But,
even, I feel like even when you mention that as well, you have that beautiful real side of things, and then you have the other celebrities. I feel like some of the Kardashians, maybe I'm to blame here, and they have these like super expensive face
oh
masks.
yeah.
They're posing like, oh, I have the good face mask. And you're like, oh my God, is this actually what we've come to? It's the new like Bulgari bag, is this expensive face mask?
I did see something about those. Yeah, they're like $400 face masks that are just fabric. They're not like filtering and
Exactly. And they're wearing it like it's the latest like Christian Louboutin shoes. And you're like, what are you, what? How is this a thing? But
they're just
it,
yeah.
it's insane to see how even that kind of popularity cycle, or that
Hmm.
FOMO almost, that kicks in for people. It's a really funny time to see everything. Like you say, some people are adapting so well to it, and they're doing this whole like, you know, we're just living normal lives like everyone else. And then
Hmm.
you have the other people who are like, we're still better than you.
Yeah, or
Yeah.
like, but they just want to stay relevant because they have nothing else. You know, they're so fake that they're if they're not relevant right now, they have nothing.
Yeah,
So it is that fakeness doesn't win overall. You know, yes, they have
exactly.
their millions of dollars, but like they could be irrelevant tomorrow. So
Exactly.
yeah, no, I'm enjoying that. I mean, Ellen DeGeneres is just calling all the celebrities in her phone as just from she's bored, and those are her videos, and it's hilarious. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I love that.
yeah, no, I love her. She's hilarious. But you know, none of them have makeup on, which is really, really funny because you know, on Ellen DeGeneres' show, she always looks fantastic and perfect and actually like 20 years younger than she actually is. But she's
Yeah,
at home in sweatpants, and like, sure, they're more expensive sweatpants than I'll ever own, you know, and she's in a house that's more than I'll ever own, you know, but like she still is, you know, barefaced and in her slippers, and yeah, it's
just living her truth like
yeah,
every day. It's
yeah.
really cool.
It is funny. So back to your business. If there was anything you could have changed as you were like creating your business, we talked about your time blocking and giving yourself a little grace that you are succeeding. You know, would you have changed anything besides maybe your confidence in yourself?
Oh gosh, would it have changed anything? I think actually I definitely would have. I wouldn't have invested in all the tech and all the software that I thought was absolutely essential for running my business. You don't need
Yeah.
an email provider that costs you $80 a month. You just simply don't need it, you know?
Hmm.
That's definitely something I'd change.
No, I love that. You know, I've spoken to people as well that are, you know, just starting out, and it's like, no, use the free tools. The free tools are just fine. I mean, this is on Zoom, the free Zoom account, you know, the
Yeah,
free tools are just fine until you've outgrown them, you know, and things might change, um, you know, and then, but instead of starting with this like very high monthly expense base, you
yeah,
know, that you have to then either eat for a while or, you know,
exactly.
your profit gets eaten from. Start with the
Exactly.
free stuff. I love that.
You know, to be honest, you're not making thousands and thousands in the first few months of your business. Just get
Hmm.
the systems up and running. Deal with upgrading them later. Hire
Yes,
someone to upgrade them later.
yes,
Just don't eat away at your bank account now.
yes. But I do feel like it's important to create those systems because the people that don't have a system and are winging it, then once they do outgrow the winging it, you know, then they're in this chaos mode where they have no systems in place. So like
Exactly.
create a system, but create a free system.
Yes, exactly, exactly. Get organized, but don't break the bank.
Yes, love it. Um, so, what tools have you enjoyed? What books do you use? What helps you as a business owner, or that you suggest to other folks?
Yeah, so I mean, I love, 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 love any type of online software that is both either really cheap or free and really effective. So I personally used Dubsado. I absolutely love it. I've used MailChimp for a while. I'm currently using Flowdesk, which is a really, really interesting email system. It makes all your emails really pretty. It's super affordable, and yet has all these like advanced systems. Oh,
You're just
what a
jumping on the
cutie!
desk, so
What a cutie! Um, like that, I love listening to podcasts. I love Jenna Kutcher's podcast, the Gold Digger podcast.
she's awesome.
I think you can learn so much from her.
Yeah, no, I think podcasts are an easy way to pick up extra knowledge without, having to spend money or really search around too much. Is you can just
Yeah.
like find someone you enjoy their style and then like poke through their content.
Hmm.
You don't
Exactly.
have to buy a course or follow them on social media necessarily. You can
Yeah.
just listen as you do your other things in life.
Exactly. Exactly. You know, you're not sitting down and just focusing on that. You can actually have a bath or cook dinner.
Yeah, fold laundry. That's my favorite thing to do.
Yeah.
Um, so my favorite question is, if you could have a billboard, what would it be?
Oh my gosh. If I had a billboard, I think I'd want something. Obviously, we're all going to say we want something slightly self-promotional, but I think I'd want something like very inspiring, like with a message on it, just telling people to just, it's so cliche, but just be yourself. Everybody else is taken. There's such little authenticity in this world, and I feel like honestly it's just the best thing right now to talk to people who are really real.
Hmm.
So I think it would have to be something around that.
That's awesome. You'd be surprised. Everyone I've asked this question to has said very similar things.
Oh wow.
Some people said like stay in your lane. Some people, and I can tell that am interviewing authentic people when that is what they're saying. None of them said put up my business name. None of them said like a picture of myself. And that's, I'm like, yay, I chose the right people because,
Oh, I love that.
it's, but let me get a visual. So what colors are you picturing when you see that?
I'm for some reason picturing like autumnal, kind of like a sandy, deserty camel color with autumn leaves.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, and like big, bold font, not script font. What's the other one called? You know, when it's just normal font.
Yeah, the
Like
bold.
big black
Yeah.
font.
Hmm.
Yeah, very pretty, very eye catching, but also quite calming.
Yes, very simple. And
Yeah,
I love that. Like, be yourself. I liked what you said. You said, be yourself. Everyone else is taken.
yeah.
That's what I love. I love that one. Awesome. That's
Oh.
perfect. So where can people find more of you?
Okay, so I suppose the main place where people can connect with me is my Instagram. It's at Shauna Claire Official, Claire with an I. um, and you can also catch me on my website. And yeah, those would probably be the two best places to find me. I love when people DM me, so please do if you have anything you want to talk about because, well, right now we're quarantined, so I have more than enough time to talk to you.
Well, in your Facebook group,
Yes, and the Facebook group, of course.
yeah, where they can also kind of collaborate with other folks.
And talk to other people and just get a little bit more advice from everyone else, see what everyone's doing at the same time.
Yeah. Have you done any lives in your group lately or anything like that? Or are you just kind of letting it organically?
Right now, I'm kind of letting it become its own kind of community, and we do have plans to expand it. So
Nice.
hopefully, there's going to be a few trainings going on in there.
And so I'm super curious. Is there anywhere people can hear you sing?
Yes, there is. So I do often share videos on my Instagram. So definitely follow my Instagram and I'm actually in the process of recording at the moment, so hopefully there'll be some new recordings up soon.
You can do those in your house? Oh,
Yeah.
that's nice. It's nice when everyone brought everything home with them. It's the people that left things at school or offices that were like missing without them.
Yeah.
Well, and thankfully, you don't need a big band behind you. Opera is fairly, it can be a fairly independent thing, right?
Absolutely. Like normally we have orchestra, but the great thing is we have backing tracks these days, so it's all good.
Nice. That's awesome. Well, thank you so much. I think this was what everyone needed to hear, and I hope they can
Oh,
go join your groups and follow you, and
yeah.
get some inspiration and some help at this time. And
Oh, and thank you so much for having me on. I've had such a fun time.
no, this is great. So, all right, everyone, go follow her. I'll put links down below, where the Facebook and the Instagram and the website. And yeah, she said DM her, so everyone better get on that. All right. Well, you have a fantastic. Is it evening for you? It's late, right?
It is. It's 10 o'clock at night.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's a quarter of 6 here. So, I mean, time difference. So,
Exactly.
well, you have a great night. And
Thank you.
thank you so much for being on.
Oh, thank you so much. Talk
Okay.
soon. Bye.